Good afternoon. I just wanted to go over Thursday's lesson. So this is for set 1 and 2. You had a question on Thursday, which was to determine whether, given the coordinates 3, -2, whether they were on this line with the equation y equals 1 minus x. Now let's look at what this line or line with this equation looks like. If I just go into my browser, now this line here has equation 1 minus x, so y equals 1 minus x, and the point we're trying to determine is does a point 3, -2 lie on that line? Well, in this case we can see there's that point, and yes it does. This would be 2, -1. So just going back here, so 3, -2 is on the line, and you would put a tick. You would put a tick here to say that yes, it does. But how can we work that out algebraically without having to draw a line for this and a line for that? I mean, you can do it, but there's a quicker way, and maths is all about efficiency. So if I just get myself ready, and so if I use my coordinates x 3 and y -2 and -2, I will write here, just so that I know what I'm working with. X is -2, x is 3 and y is -2. Now the equation is y equals 1 minus x, so let's use a bit of a substitution. So on this side y is -2, and we have 1, which is our constant value here, minus our variable 3. So if I work out this side, do some calculation, 1 minus 3, that would be -2, and of course my y is -2. So we can see here that what's on the left hand side, this side here, is the same as what's on the right hand side, and therefore, I mean, as I showed earlier, that this line is, at that point, is on the line y equals 1 minus x, and you'll do the same for all of these. You'll take your y values and do the same. So if we did the second one, so that would be x equals, I'm going to use a different color, x equals 1 and y equals 2. Let's plug those points in. So y is 2, x is 1, so 1 minus my x value, which is 1. Well, we know that 1 minus 1, or 1 take away 1, is 0. So therefore, this side of the equation is not the same. So 2 is not really the same as 0. So therefore, it doesn't equal. In this case, we can say that this is a cross over point x, because that's what we're being asked to do. And then for this one here, if I just go to this one here, and so if I go on to the next equation, which is, so if I just plug this points in, so x was 3 and y was -2. So if I plug those points in, oh, and of course I should say that this equals 3. Reminded me, you can't see it. There we are. Yeah, equals 3. So plug the points in, so 3 plus 2 is what's being multiplied by my y value, so that would be, and we're trying to see if this is true. So we have 3 plus, now -2 multiplied by 2 is going to be a -4. Okay, and that equals 3. Now back to, you've done this already. What do you get when you have a positive and a negative together like this? Well, we know we get, that's correct, we do get a negative, so that'll be 3 minus 4, and we're trying to see if 3 minus 4 equals 3. Is that true? Well, 3 minus 4, that is a positive 3, take away 4, that would be -1, and we see that -1 is not really the same as 3. This is -1. So what's on the left hand side doesn't equal what is on the right hand side, and you will go here and you would put an x. Okay, And again, if I just show you this line visually, so the points, so if I just show you that line visually, if I just go to my browser, bear with me for a second. So this is the line with the equation x plus 2y equals 3. And we're trying to determine if our points, they were 3, let's go back here, they were, so this one here for the first one, 3 minus 2. So we're trying to see if these coordinates are on this line. And let's see, so we had 3, that was a bit loud, 3 negative, no, so negative 2 equals, sorry. So this is this point, and our line does not really go through that point. So it's false, it's wrong, and hence why we did put the X to say that it doesn't. So pause and have a go at pause the video and have a go at yourself, and we will do the next part together. Okay, so we said this was a tick, that was a cross, so that was a cross, and we didn't determine whether this one is on the line or not. So let's see if it's on the line. So we have our X values to be 1 and our Y value is 2, and if that equals 3, let's see where we can see. So that would be, well, we can see that from here that if this is 1 plus, that's going to be 2 times 2, which is 4. That one equal 3, so that would be 1 plus it's not going to equal 3 because that's 1 plus 4, because 2 times 2 is 4. So this would be 5 equals 3. Well, 5 doesn't equal 3. 5 is bigger than 3. So this would be an X. And if we go to this one here, the next one, we have our X to be 2 and our Y is a half. So Y is a half, and we have 1 minus X is 2. So this won't be it, because this 1 minus is negative 1, and therefore this would be a cross. And for the next one, we have our X to be, so X is 2, Y is a half. Plug those points in, we get 2 plus, what's 2 times a half? It's 1. So 2 plus 1 is 3. Therefore, this would be 3 equals 3. That is indeed correct. So that works. And for the last one, negative 1, 2. I keep saying minus 1 is negative. Yeah, I'm recording. 1 second. So we have our X value being negative 1 and our Y value is 2. So let's plug those points in. So we have 2 equals 1 minus negative 1. And that would be, well, 1, that's going to be a positive. So 1 plus 1 is 2. Therefore, this is correct because they both equal. So that means those coordinates will be on the line. And for this one here, our X value is still the same, negative 1, Y is 2, and of course we said this has to equal 3. So X is negative 1 plus, well, 2 times 2 is 4. So -1 plus 4. Well, that is indeed -1 plus 4 is 3, and the what's on the left hand side matches what's on the right hand side, and therefore this would be a tick.